I'll do one more piece, and then if you'd like, we can do like a little Q&A at the end. We can open up the floor. People have questions, comments, thoughts. Nothing too personal, inshallah. I'll be willing to take some. Okay. So, it's so beautiful that we have an organization like this working in an area which I'm sure most of you probably are not too familiar with, right? The Balkans, Albania in particular. But there have been some major scholars over time who come out of Albania in particular. It's a disease whereby we only really give and support those individuals who kind of look like us, right? So if there was, for instance, a masjid being built in your village, mashallah, tabarakallah, how quickly would you round up everyone you knew for, 100 pounds each? It's not a big deal, right? So we need to come out of this box of thinking just, my people, these people, this particular region. We need to start looking at the wider picture, which is these people are literally our brothers and sisters. It's sometimes hard to imagine and actually envision that. But the Prophet ﷺ, he said it in such a beautiful statement. He said, the ummah is like one body. Imagine this, visualize this. The entire ummah is like one body. So if one part of your body is in pain, the entire body feels it. Right? If you have a toothache, this tiny tooth in the back of your mouth. If you have a toothache, you will not be able to sleep, you will not be able to eat. It will just ruin your life. Right? Toothache. I've had toothaches before. Now imagine how many of us look at the situation in Albania like a toothache in our own bodies. Some of you might think it's just maybe a splinter, It's just like, whatever, it's done. I know it's difficult as well in this time, in this context. We see Gaza, we see what's happening in Sham, we see what's happening in Burma. It seems like the ummah is under attack, subhanAllah, in every aspect. And I just want to remind you that shaitan is going to come to you again. That shaitan is going to tell you, you don't have 100 pounds. You're broke, you have nothing. That shaitan is going to remind you about every single bill you haven't paid in the last month. He's going to be your accountant for this time. That shaitan is going to tell you, man, I don't know if I can commit. I don't know. I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, make a sincere intention. Rectify your intention. Say to your nafs, I'm going to give for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because your risk, your wealth, your money is not actually from you, by the way. You might think, oh, I'm so amazing. I go out every day, I work, I get that money, I bring it home. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's the one who gives you your wealth. So in a sense, you're just lending it back to this cause. You're just lending it back to the cause of building the sajid and strengthening and furthering the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I just wanted to give you that reminder because I know sometimes it's very difficult for us in this season of, every event I go to, I feel like it's a charity fundraiser, right? Everybody wants your money. But, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's testing those people. He's testing those people by removing Islam from them. But He's also testing you. He is testing you by seeing which you love more, your wealth or your dunya, your wealth or your deen. So just keep that in mind. We're all being tested in this aspect. And going back to what I just said about, the unity within the ummah. Imagine if the Prophet ﷺ was here today. Imagine. Who would he be most fond of? Would he run to the Quraysh and say, Quraysh, these are my people? Would he run to the Ansar? Or would he look at this ummah, this vast majority of people, who on Yawm al-Qiyamah, we will recognize him. We will say, this is our Prophet. This is the beauty of Islam. I can have absolutely no background whatsoever in context with you. And we can be from two different places on earth. But we share one thing in common that is more important than any bloodline. That is, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. So remember this, inshallah, when you're giving, when you're thinking. And the Sheikh said it best, we need your dua. Before we need any support, before we need your money, we need your dua. Because you're not helping these people. It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who's helping these people. Sometimes you're just being used for that goal or that cause. So keep that in mind, inshallah. I'll do this last piece. It's called pumpkin seeds. You will not be asked about your cultures in your grave. And you will not be judged based on your father's last name. When the trumpet blares, there will be no more kings, only slaves. And your family traditions will not be able to keep you safe. Your language will bring you no comfort on that day. And no one will care about the kind of food your mother used to make. The angel of death does not discriminate. No matter your ethnic group, clan, or race, we were created from the exact same clay. Many nations have come before. Many nations have been replaced, disgraced, and erased. So which one of you feels safe, and which one of you remembers what life was like back in the day when we used to be brothers? And we used to stand up for one another in the face of trouble. We used to love one another and understand that your struggle is my struggle. We used to be one. A nation brought together in praise under the morning sun. For those who would dare, we would defend our rights to life and liberty. We used to care before then about the orphans and anyone else in despair. We used to believe in justice. We used to be fair. Unity was not a word, it was a state of mind. Before states, nations, and flags, we were mankind. From the same seed we were created, and to the same dirt we shall return. Now we are diseased with innovations in the fire left to burn. We seek to please heads of nations, compromising what we've learned. Indeed, this is a time of humiliation for those who are concerned. The state of our affairs is unbearingly absurd, taking enemies as friends after the wrath they have incurred. Empty threats and broken promises, vision is becoming blurred. Want to raise your hands up to the skies, but most of you are unsure that the end is coming near and only one can judge us. How can you be sincere when you forgot your purpose? This is the final frontier. Did you not think we would be tested, ridiculed, abused, confused, and arrested? Made to feel strange in a place that's infested? But blame is a game that they win uncontested. We like to huff and puff about all of our stuff being protected. But what's the point of reading books when you don't understand the message? Divided and conquered, but we used to be connected, and you didn't have to like us, but you still had to respect us. Every corner of the globe, but we still facing one direction, standing row by row. If not today, then on the day of resurrection, when there will be no protection without the permission of the one true God. Allahu Akbar. Because we used to be brothers. But today, I'm only really your brother until I ask to make your sister my bride. Because nowadays, it ain't, girl, what's your size? It's, girl, what's your tribe? But what good are your eyes when taqwa is colorblind? And alhamdulillah, praises to the Lord of both you and I, who created us from difference that we may learn to love what's inside. Honored us with this religion, the last of its kind, and a messenger with a message for all mankind. But I wonder what he would say, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, to know that his ummah has gone astray, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He taught us how to behave, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He even taught us how to pray, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He was the best who ever came, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So where is his example today, sallallahu alayhi wasallam? He emphasized solidarity, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. It seems like we have forgotten his ways, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Because we used to be brothers. But how many of you would leave your own brothers on the front lines to die? There are children in Palestine being buried alive. It's scary to think. We changed the channel before we change our minds. There was no hope for a nation that is not unified. Do you really see me as your brother, or am I just some guy? Do you protect me, or do you put me on trial because Some of you are so stingy, you won't even donate a smile. SubhanAllah. Where is the love? The state of our ummah is that we forgot where we came from. But when your soul begins to quiver in the shade of your rattling chest, you will see that this world was nothing but an illusion you are in. Ya Bani Adam, don't be fooled by wicked men. Because there is only one God, but enough people who don't remember him. I am your reflection. Our connection is stronger than that of any election. We seek protection in our Lord. May he grant us direction. May he make us amongst those who love each other for his sake. May he make us amongst those who are content with our fate. May he make us amongst those who will see his beautiful face. We ask Allah for his mercy. We ask Allah for his grace. We ask Allah to unite this ummah and to keep us safe. We thank Allah for the countless blessings that we receive every single day. And may we give thanks for the unknown blessings already on their way. Jazakallah khairan.